I would say that none of the current, I would say most of the organizations, they don't have, or maybe they have it in their policy, assuring the quality, but they don't enforce it. They don't audit it. So how could you assure that when the user enters the data is entering it with cautious? That I mean, I have to be careful. This data has to come with high quality. No, they are treating the data as careless. So what does that cost? Poor data quality costs real money. You need to close the data if it comes with poor quality. Okay. And you want to create information or knowledge out of it. Garbage in, garbage out. So if you have low quality data within your organization, it's not beneficial to mine or create or generate information or knowledge out. What can happen to your business processes? It will be impacted negatively. Because processes, what does it mean? Data. If your data comes with low quality, all what are you going to do, or what are you going to produce from your processes will be also low quality. Because business processes depends on use of data. What potential benefits of new system would not be realized because of poor data quality? We've seen a lot of organizations saying, well, the trend is towards business intelligence. And they build the company. And the company will do the demonstration. This is a dashboard that we can create commercial. This is a type of alert, etc. Fancy. Great, you can do it. But when you put it on place and you bring your data, poor quality data, what are you going to generate? False information. So all what you have built is not beneficial for the organization. And I know some of the organizations who spent almost 78 million riyal in technology. And they thought that with the technology they can build the business intelligence and they can fly with the analytics. But they failed. And then they realized that the problem is with their data. We need to do some housekeeping first. Look at our data. Then we can build the technology layer on top of it to create the information and knowledge. Definitely, all the decision-making process will be impacted negatively if the data that will be provided or information that will be provided comes with low quality. So we see the impact of data quality. How possible? That's another dimension. Now the data are stored in each department, but how do they control the dissemination of the data? How do they care about the confidentiality of the data? Do they care about the integrity of the data? Do they care about the availability of the data? That's another issue. Because many business departments, they have their own system, but they don't care about this. It's operational, so I have to buy it. So what is data governance? Let's look at this definition, and then we'll try to make the components of data governance. The first definition, data governance is a system of decision rights and accountabilities for information-related processes, executed according to agreed-upon models which describe who can take what actions with what information and when and under what circumstances to what needed. So focus on decision rights, accountabilities, and models. Let's go to the second definition. Data governance is the application of policies, processes designed to extract the maximum value from data. How within an organization? Why? Also managing risk, enhancing privacy, protection, and ensuring that compliance becomes other. So we're talking about people, roles, processes, and also technology. To achieve what? To improve what? Trust, access, understanding of data. So that's what data governance is. What are the people that we are mentioning here? People will be the decision makers. They are one of the users. Will be data owners who create or who enter the data or own the data. And that will take us to another dilemma, which is another debate. Who owns the data within the organization? Is it the one who enters the data? Is it the organization who is maintaining the data, etc.? For the roles, it's covered policies, requirements, standards, accountabilities, controls, etc. For the processes, creating, collecting, aligning data, data management, data quality, business intelligence, data warehouse, data security. And for the technology, it covers the data architecture, data integration, and data interfaces. So what do we do in data governance? In data governance, we exercise the authority and control over the management data assets. So we would be like authoring body for the data. For any application that needs to be developed, it has to go through an author, let's say, an authoring body that will look at the data. Do we have it? Use what we have. We don't have it? Okay, fine. But the data that you want. Let's define it. What does it entail? What's the definition of it? Let's make the data expert, etc. So by doing so, we are kind of the authority of the authoring body within the organization, and also playing the control role. Also, with the data governance, we provide an operating unit that will be responsible to manage data information as a key enterprise asset. As I just mentioned, for the physical asset, you can find the logistic or asset department responsible for the physical asset. So you need to have an operating unit that looks after the data as an asset. So I didn't just leave it like for the IT. It's not an IT job to maintain or manage the data assets. So it's include organization, because we just mentioned we should have an organization unit within the whole organization. It should have processes how to gather the data, and what are the tools that we need to do our activities or functions. So some of the elements that is within data governance, decision-making authority, compliance, process standards, data inventories, full lifecycle management, content management, records management, preservation, disposal, data quality, data classification, security, risk, and valuation. So what are the goals of data governance? To define, approve, communicate what? Data strategies. I have to have data strategies within my organization. I have my business strategies. I have my IT strategies aligned to my business strategies. What about my data strategies? It should be in place. Like security strategies, like cloud strategies. Also, we need to have policies. How you need to communicate to the people how they should manage the data. It's through having a policy by whom? Senior manager. Taken by the organization itself. And standards. You don't let the people work the way they like. They have to standardize their work, standardize their data. What type of data are we going to use? Take, for example, health-related system. Often they go with HL7. So first, we agree that HL7 is our standard for communication. So I should not accept or allow any system or any RP or any healthcare system to go without having the warm HL7 compliance to ensure that while I'm getting it, can we communicate with my existing system. Architecture. I have to start putting my data application. You're putting in now your infrastructure application. You put your technology architecture. Okay, you're putting your business process architecture, which is the business process, business processes. You also put your data architecture and map it to your business processes, so you know where the data is being used. And what's the impact of, if you lose one of the data, what business process will be impacted? So, which is not very good. The other goal is to track and enforce regularity, compliance, and conformance to data policies, but also we are good by putting policies, strategies, etc. But we are bad at executing it and later audit. We need to ensure that the people are really in compliance with what we have set. To sponsor, track, oversee the delivery of data management project and services. This organization that will be looking after data governance will be responsible to look at or participate with the ongoing information-related projects to ensure the compliance, to ensure that what they are doing is aligned with the strategy being built. Manage and resolve data-related issues. If I have issues with data, I figure out that they have redundant data. Who should resolve? Who is the one capable to resolve this problem? That should be the one. Understand and promote the value of data assets. Now, as I just mentioned earlier, we need to put the value for the data. Why? Because based on the value, we will see how much efforts we need to pay for that asset. For example, if you think of making the security, I can put high level security solution. But in the data world, low money, for example, is a world highly investment. No, that's why we need to put value so we can really measure our investment properly. So data governance have many disciplines. We have here data quality, we just mentioned, auditing and reporting, which is also mentioned, data stewardship, which is kind of quality control discipline designed to ensure custodial care of data for data assets, security, privacy, compliance, we mentioned, metadata, which is data about the data, just to give a definition of the data itself, risk assessment, data architecture, policies, organization awareness. We have to make the people. You made the whole thing. You made the strategy, you made everything. You need to make the people of the organization aware of data governance, importance of the data assets, and also information lifecycle management. So what are the core of data management initiatives? Data operation management, that's offline initiative. Reference master data management, where all the data will be there. Document and content management. Now, we have a system that captures some of the data, but we have some unstructured data. Unstructured data. How we can use this unstructured data? This unstructured data, if we capture it, we will be creating a lot of information that will be useful for the organization, which is not yet in place. Data security management should be addressed. Data development, how you will generate for any of the project, the breadth of the data. Data quality management, data management, data warehouse, which is a step for BI or analytics, and then the database architecture management. Okay, so if you look at the core functions of data governance, and it's split into data management planning and data management, and it has other functions within each one of these. Okay, now I want to, I realize the importance of data. I know what's data governance. I want to start. But I want to know, where am I now? There is a data governance maturity model that has 5 stages: initial, manage, define, quantitatively manage, and optimize. Go and assess yourself against the criteria of each level. Find where you are now. Because